stop. You've been lied to. Everything you believe about being a good person is the very reason people ignore you, use you, and forget you. Kindness, generosity, and approval-seeking. These aren't saving you. They're killing your power. Here's the brutal truth. If you think being endlessly nice will make people respect you, you are already their servant, and servants are disposable. Right now you have two paths. Keep chasing approval, keep shrinking yourself, keep being the good one everyone overlooks. Or, today, you learn to turn kindness into a weapon of power. You learn to be strategic, respected, untouchable. This is not theory. This is survival. Either you master this truth now, or you stay weak forever. 500 years ago, Machiavelli exposed a forbidden law. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. But here's the shocking part. They never told you the second half. Machiavelli never said love is useless. He said uncontrolled love makes you weak. Controlled kindness makes you unstoppable. Psychologists have confirmed it. History has proven it. The ones who rule are not the endlessly kind. They are the ones who know when to hold back, when to give, and when to deny. That's what you're about to learn today. The dark truth about being too good and how to turn your kindness into power. So stay locked in, because the first principle will make you rethink every time you said yes when you wanted to say no. Drop this in the comments right now. Respect over approval. Principle 1. The hidden weakness of kindness. Here's the truth. Your kindness is not making you loved, it's making you invisible. Think about it. When you always say yes, people stop noticing the effort. When you give endlessly, people stop valuing the gift. And when you never push back, you teach everyone that your boundaries don't exist. That is the hidden weakness of kindness. The more you give without strategy, the less you are respected. You've lived this. You helped a friend move. You stayed late at work. You forgave someone who didn't deserve it. And what happened? Did they treat you as irreplaceable? No. They expected more. They assumed you'd always bend. Your kindness didn't build gratitude. It built entitlement. Here's the shocking part. Human beings don't value what's abundant. We crave what's scarce. When your kindness flows endlessly, it becomes worthless. But when your kindness is rare, intentional, and controlled, it becomes power. Machiavelli warned us. The man who gives constantly will soon exhaust his means and lose both respect and gratitude. Translation: if you try to win love through endless giving, you lose both the love and the respect. Stop being the open faucet. Become the controlled stream. Give only when it creates impact. Refuse when it protects your time. When people realize your yes is rare, they treat it as gold. Type this in the comments right now. My kindness is scarce. My respect is priceless. But here's the dangerous trap. Most people don't realize kindness has a dark flip side. And when you don't control it, it doesn't just make you weak. It makes you easy prey. That's principle number 2. Kindness makes you prey. Stop and listen. Predators don't attack the strong. They circle the easy target. The one who never fights back. The one who always forgives. The one who confuses being good with being safe. Here's the brutal truth. Your kindness is a signal, and to the wrong people, it screams, use me, exploit me, I won't resist. Think about the workplace. Who gets dumped with the extra work? The one who never says no. Who gets walked on in relationships? The one who always compromises, always apologizes first, always tries to keep the peace. And who gets betrayed the fastest? The one everyone assumes will forgive. The pattern is clear. Your uncontrolled kindness isn't protecting you. It's painting a target on your back. Here's the shocking part. Psychologists call this the doormat effect. Once people identify you as endlessly giving, their brains stop seeing you as an equal. They start classifying you as a resource, not a person. Machiavelli warned, "Men are ungrateful, fickle, false. While you serve their interest, they are yours." In plain English, people's loyalty lasts only as long as you're useful. The moment your kindness costs them effort, they abandon you. The fix is simple, but not easy. Never let kindness be your default. Let strength be your default. Kindness should be a choice, a sharp, deliberate tool you use when it serves you as well. When you control kindness, you stop being prey. You become the hunter who chooses when to feed others and when to let them starve. Drop this in the comments. I am no one's prey. My strength comes first. But here's where it gets even darker. It's not just that kindness makes you prey, it actually destroys your authority. The more you try to be liked, the less power you'll ever have. And that brings us to Principle 3. Being liked destroys respect. Here's the truth. If your mission in life is to be liked, you will never be respected. How many times have you swallowed your opinion, forced a laugh, or agreed with something you hated just to avoid tension? You thought it would win you approval, but it didn't. It didn't give you loyalty. It didn't give you respect. It only made you forgettable. Respect doesn't come from bending. Respect comes from holding firm. Picture two leaders. One bends to every demand, apologizes when they've done nothing wrong, and avoids conflict to keep the peace. They seem nice, but no one fears disappointing them because everyone knows they'll fold. The other enforces standards. They speak the truth, even when it's unpopular. They refuse to bend under pressure. Who do people admire more? Who do they fear letting down? Always the second. Here's the shocking part. The more you chase approval, the more people sense your weakness. Human psychology is wired to test boundaries. If you always yield, people will keep pushing until you break. And when you finally snap, it won't inspire respect. It will inspire pity. Machiavelli said it coldly. It is much safer to be feared than loved when one of the two must be lacking. He wasn't glorifying fear over love. He was revealing this. Respect, born from authority and boundaries, is stronger than shallow approval. So stop trading power for cheap validation. Stop chasing smiles that vanish the moment you leave the room. Say no when you mean it. Speak your truth bluntly. Let others feel the weight of your boundaries. Because when you stop begging for approval, you unlock authority. Being liked makes you replaceable. Being respected makes you unforgettable. But here's the secret few know. Respect doesn't just come from rejecting approval, it comes from mastering scarcity. And once you understand scarcity, your kindness becomes a weapon no one can ignore.
That's Principle 4, the power of scarcity and kindness. Stop. Listen carefully, because this is the forbidden truth. What is rare is respected. What is common is ignored. Your problem isn't that you're kind. Your problem is that you're kind to everyone, all the time. And when kindness is constant, it dissolves into background noise. People stop hearing it. They stop valuing it. Think about gold. Why is it valuable? Not because it glitters, but because it is rare. Now think about air. You need it to survive, yet you don't cherish it, because it's everywhere. Your kindness works the same way. When you hand it out like air, it becomes invisible. But when you restrict it, when you give it sparingly, at the right moment, it transforms into gold. Suddenly, people chase it. They fight for it. They crave it. Here's the shocking part. Scarcity doesn't just raise value, it ignites desire. Psychologists call this the scarcity principle. The less available something is, the more urgently people want it. When your kindness is scarce, people stop taking it for granted. They start competing for it. They learn to fear losing it. Machiavelli understood this brutal law of human nature. He wrote, "Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance." Translation: people value what they risk losing far more than what they are endlessly given. If your kindness is always available, they will never fear losing it, and therefore they will never respect it. So here's how you weaponize this. Stop giving kindness freely. Make people earn it. Say no often so that when you say yes, it lands like thunder. Withhold your approval so that when you finally give it, it feels like a victory. Scarcity transforms kindness from a weakness into a currency of power. And once you master this, people will chase your validation the way the desperate chase wealth. Type this in the CK comments right now. My kindness is gold, rare, powerful, respected. But here's where the real game begins. Because kindness doesn't just lose value when it's constant. It becomes dangerous when it's predictable. And the masters of power know exactly how to turn that into control. That's Principle 5, the danger of predictable kindness. Here's the truth. The moment people can predict you, they can control you. And nothing is more predictable than the person who's always good, always understanding, always the bigger person. That isn't kindness. It's a script. And once people know your script, they can weaponize it against you. You've already seen this play out. At work, projects get dumped on you because everyone knows you won't refuse. In relationships, guilt becomes a weapon because they know you'll always forgive. With friends, debts go unpaid because they know you'll never demand repayment. Your kindness has become a pattern, and like all patterns, it can be hacked. Just like software has exploits, manipulators exploit you. Here's the shocking part. Psychology has a name for this. It's called operant conditioning. When you respond the same way every time, people learn exactly how to push your buttons. You become easy, predictable, transparent. And predictability is the death of respect. Machiavelli warned, "The man who is predictable is already defeated." Think about that. If they can predict you, they don't fear you. If they don't fear you, they don't respect you. And without respect, you have no power. The solution: break the script. Sometimes you forgive, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you say yes, sometimes you walk away without explanation. Keep people guessing. Keep them slightly off balance, because when others don't know which version of you they'll encounter, they tread carefully. Uncertainty forces respect, and when respect rises, so does authority. Understand this. Unpredictability isn't recklessness, it's strategy. Power doesn't belong to the one who explodes randomly. It belongs to the one who is controlled but never obvious, calculated, deliberate, but impossible to fully read. That's the position of strength. So here's your command. Drop this in the comments right now. I break the script. I choose when and how I give. Because when you destroy predictability, your kindness stops being a weakness and starts being a weapon. But here's the next level. If kindness must be unpredictable, what must your foundation be? The answer is one word: discipline. Without discipline, kindness will always betray you. That's Principle 6. Discipline over emotion. Stop. Here's the truth. Most people are kind because they're emotional, not because they're strategic. You feel guilty, so you give. You feel pressured, so you say yes. You fear conflict, so you stay silent. That isn't kindness. That's weakness dressed up as virtue. Think back to the last time someone asked you for a favor. Deep inside, your gut screamed, "I don't have time for this." But then guilt whispered, "If I say no, they'll be upset." So you caved. You sacrificed your time, your energy, and your boundaries, just to escape that tiny moment of discomfort. And what happened?
They got what they wanted. You got drained. They walked away satisfied. You walked away smaller. This is what happens when emotion rules your kindness. Here's the shocking part. Psychologists call this the compulsion to please. Your brain gets addicted to the instant relief of avoiding conflict. Every time you give in, you reinforce the cycle. You train yourself to obey your emotions, and worse, you train others to exploit them. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. He warned, "The man who lets his feelings rule him will be ruined by them." Power is not emotional. Power is disciplined. Emotions are impulses. Discipline is control. And control is the foundation of respect. So here's how you flip it. Never give kindness in the heat of emotion. When the urge hits, pause, breathe, decide. Ask yourself 3 ruthless questions. Does this serve me? Does this strengthen me? Does this align with my strategy? If the answer is no, your answer is no, without apology, without guilt. Because real kindness is not impulsive, it's calculated. And calculated kindness doesn't drain you. It builds respect. It creates authority. It positions you as someone whose yes carries weight because it's rare, intentional, and disciplined. Type this in the comments right now. My kindness is discipline, not impulse. But here's the hidden weapon Machiavelli himself hinted at. The one most people are too afraid to even speak. The power of selective cruelty. Yes, you heard that right. Sometimes the fastest path to respect isn't through kindness at all, but through a sharp refusal, even a calculated cruelty. That's Principle 7. The power of selective cruelty. Stop. Let's rip away the illusion. Sometimes kindness isn't just weak, it's dangerous. And sometimes the only way to protect your power is through controlled cruelty. Here's the brutal truth. If you never punish, people never learn. If you never withdraw, people never respect. And if you never enforce consequences, your kindness becomes a joke, cheap, hollow, and powerless. Think about parenting. A parent who never disciplines, who only rewards, raises a child who disrespects them. They don't see kindness as love. They see it as softness. Think about leadership. A boss who never fires anyone, who tolerates laziness, doesn't just lose control of the weak. He loses the respect of the strong. His tolerance becomes a disease that spreads. Now think about you. When was the last time you enforced a consequence instead of just forgiving? When was the last time you cut someone off, pulled back your energy, or drew a hard line with no negotiation? If the answer is, I can't remember, that's why people don't fear losing you. And if they don't fear losing you, they don't value keeping you. Here's the shocking part. Psychologists call this the negative reinforcement gap. Without occasional punishment or withdrawal, others never take your boundaries seriously. They assume your kindness is endless and therefore worthless. Machiavelli said it coldly. Men must either be caressed or annihilated. They will avenge slight injuries, but cannot avenge severe ones. Translation: half measures fail. If you must enforce, enforce decisively. If you must deny, deny completely. A half punishment breeds resentment. A sharp, final act breeds memory. This doesn't mean becoming cruel for cruelty's sake. It means selective cruelty. You don't explode, you don't lose control. You strike strategically, once, cleanly and sharply, so they never test you to. He same way again. Cruelty in doses creates memory. Memory creates respect. And respect protects your power far more than endless forgiveness ever could. Drop this in the comments right now. My kindness has teeth. My boundaries have consequences. But here's the final layer, the one that ties all 7 principles together. Because even cruelty, scarcity, and discipline are useless without this,
a vision of the self you are becoming.
That's Principle 8, the transformation of kindness into power. Here's the ultimate truth. Kindness was never the problem. Your problem was how you used it. Uncontrolled kindness equals weakness. Strategic kindness equals power. That's the law. Before, you said yes to everything. You gave without limits. You lived to be liked. You thought approval would protect you. But the result? You were drained. You were dismissed. You were forgotten. After, you give strategically. You say no with strength. You use scarcity, unpredictability, discipline, and yes, even selective cruelty. The result? You are respected. You are remembered. You are untouchable. Here's the shocking part. When you control kindness, you don't just protect yourself. You create leverage. Every act of kindness becomes a weapon. Every refusal becomes a warning. Every choice becomes a signal of your value. You stop being predictable and replaceable, and you start being unforgettable. Machiavelli's hidden wisdom was never about abandoning kindness. It was about weaponizing it. He wrote, "A wise ruler should rely on what is within his control, not on what lies in the hearts of others. Approval lies in the hearts of others, but kindness, when controlled, is fully yours. It becomes the weapon in your arsenal, delivered with precision, denied with discipline, and respected by everyone who witnesses it." So from this moment on, stop identifying as the good person. That identity kept you small. Start identifying as the powerful person, the strategist, who uses kindness as a tool, not a trap. You are no longer a servant begging for scraps of approval. You are a ruler, deciding who earns your kindness and when. Drop this in the comments right now. I turn kindness into power. And understand this. Your life will never be the same after this shift. Because now you know the dark truth. Being too good makes you weak. But strategic goodness, that makes you unstoppable. From now on, you are not endlessly kind. You are rare. You are respected. You are untouchable. People won't forget you. They won't walk over you. They won't treat you as prey because you've chosen the Machiavellian path. Respect over approval, power over weakness, kindness as a weapon. If this message opened your eyes, smash that like button. Subscribe for more truths most people can't handle. Share this video with someone who desperately needs this wake-up call.